Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Delta T Racing Thursday night. So it's time for Division 3, getting down to the business end of the season now, round 11 at Qatar. As you would have seen by the tables quickly up there, Benny Bonneau leading the way on 187 points. Hammers in second on 159 is basically the only man that can catch him. Man, I believe, is missing tonight as well. So Hammer's 28 points behind, so needs to reduce that gap down by a minimum of 2 points to keep it going to the season finale in Abu Dhabi next week. Also, the constructors currently being led by Alfa Romeo, 243 points as opposed to Alpine's 191, so a 52-point gap there. 44 points available to the teams today, so Alfa Romeo could actually tie up the Constructors' Championship today. So we could see both titles completed today. So let's see who is going to be out and about. Who's the first one? Okay, it's going to be, I think it's Hummer. So yeah, we'll stay on board with Hummer to set the initial time. I'm just trying to remember what the times were last night. But strategy, a couple available. Medium to soft can be stretched out. Medium hard seemed to be the strategy of preference last night. Obviously a lot depends on when and if a safety car comes out. Okay, so Hummer coming down now. I'm not sure of these corner numbers, to be honest. They're going up towards the tip of the second peak there. On the apex arms to the throttle nice and early. And so this section around here can be taken flat out. Which he does. Slight lift on the last sector there, but carrying good speed. I'm thinking that's an invalidation. Jump off of him. Who is going to be next? It's going to be one of the Alpines must we have, I think. He has invalidated in the middle sector there. So who is going to be the first to put on time on the board? Is it Brother Adam? No, it was Ralph with a 123.391. A respectable start there. Immediately beaten by Brother Adam with a 22.4. We have the Alfa Romeos working well together. Bob giving a tow down the start-finish line to Hammers there. And Man Like Donkey up in the second with a 22.7. So pretty good terms so far. We did manage to get into the 21s last night in Division 2. I think there are some capable drivers here that could do the same. Looks like he validated there, so composite is here. Around 122.9 up into third place. Right, we'll just have a quick check to make sure we are streaming. Yes, we are. Right, good news. Okay, so we've got the burst coming through. I was just about to jump to Hammers there. 22.417 up into provisional pole position. Benny not going out yet, but I think he's having issues with just copying in the latest update. he should be with us soon. Skipper just coming round the final sector now. We'll see what time he can pop on the board as well. This is teammate up in 5th with 22.9. Skipper 23.3. Okay, so who do we have out though? Looks like Hummer is going to be next. Is that Bob behind him? Looks like he's not sure if he's on a lap or on an in lap, but keep an eye on him. Hummer drops in to the pits. Bog is on a lap. They're currently at 26.4, but I think that obviously included giving a tow to his teammate. We'll see what time he can put on the board. Qualified very well in the last race. Up into 8:23.155. I know he's done absolutely zero practice here, so I think he'll be hoping he can do okay. Right, so Pav getting out of the way nicely there. A bit too much, to be honest. I think he's now got... Yeah, Bob's bump is on his way out. Right, so on laps, we don't really have anyone at the moment. Double... Right, jump on with Benny, championship leader. I think 5 race winners, 7 pole positions this year, just off the top of my head. It might be slightly different to that, but it's certainly been completely dominant this year. Now see if he can continue that and tie up his title today, or whether Hammers can keep it going to the last race in Abu Dhabi. Always nice to see a showdown at the finale. Sometimes can be over in turn number 3. And sometimes it can go right the way down to the wire. But here we go. So on board with Benny now. Comes round to start his first lap. Keep an eye on Pabs coming into the pits to see what time he put in. So we've got a few on out laps now. Man Like Donkey looking at going again. We've got the 2 Red Bulls, and we have Hummer and Habit Connor. Neither of those putting in a representative lap time as of yet. 1:32 from Hummer. He's got much more in him than that. Purple sector 1 from Benny, something that we've become pretty accustomed to this season. Coming to sector 2 and purple sector 2 as well, so we'll not be surprised to see Benny catapult to the top of the timesheets here. So carrying good speed round there into the final corner now. So nice and early onto the throttle. This is going to be a good time. Are we going to get to the 21? Oh, it wasn't as good in the end. 122.6. So certainly didn't nail that last sector as it looked like, but I mean, nevertheless, up in the 4th place, I'm sure he would be happy with that. I know a lot of drivers would be. Okay, who's next? Is it Connor? No. We have one of the Red Bulls coming across next. It's going to be Bob. 22.7 for Bob. Teammate Rika just about to cross the line. A third of a second up on his time would pop him up a couple of places if he can continue that, and bang, up in the 4th place. 22.638. Okay, so who do we have? Brother Adam? No. That's an AlphaTauri 122.199 by Hammers. I told you he had more in him. Connor has invalidated, but will be going on for a second run. Who do we have next? So Benny coming into the pits will look at doing one final run. With the two Alfa Romeos. So not really benefiting too much on the toe there. I think Hammer's might be just a bit too far in front, but it could be that they're just doing their own races and I'm not sure what's happening there now. Obviously teammate to Benny. So double about to start his lap. So let's jump back on. I'll tell you what, we'll just go up with Hammers, see how he's doing. 2 seconds down on his time. So I think that is just a second warm-up lap. Bog is nearly 2/10 up. So dropping to 22.9, making up a place, but he needs a little bit more than that. And the purple sector 2, if the graphic can be 100% believed. I think Bog will go for it here, and just behind him he will have his teammates pitted. Well, I thought Hammers was going to maybe do their second warm-up. So I didn't see any improvement there. Right, okay. Skipper going very slow. Is he out of fuel? He's out of fuel. Oh my god, he got a whole lap to go. Right, have improved by nearly 2 seconds on his time, but not on position. Double now coming across with a 23.3, so 13th. Again, I don't think he improved on position there. With the composite is up slightly on his time, so up nearly 2/10, but doesn't improve on position. So currently Hummer in the AlphaTauri 122.1, Hammers in the Alfa Romeo in second, 122.4, then Brother Adam 22.4, MBB 22.5. He snuck in, I didn't see him out on track. Rika with a 22.6, so we're fairly bunched field, to be honest with you. So Benny now on another lap, we'll keep an eye on him. So currently half a second down on the lead time, slightly up on his time going through sector 1. So I think he lost it all in sector 3 last time. We'll see if he can improve on it this time round. Sure, the drivers ahead are hoping that he doesn't. Comes for his teammate now, getting out of the way nicely for him. Well done. So again, a slight lift on that third right, carrying good speed through here. See what time, so 22.6 is his time at the moment. It does look quick. 22 flat. Yeah, it was pretty quick. So yes, he certainly made up a awful lot of time in that last sector, or should I say lost a lot of time in the first sector on his first run. Bob Spun now just about to start his, probably be his last hot lap. So some decided to go a little bit earlier. Notice hammers are out. Pav's nearly half a second down on his time. So we've got hammers on an out lap. So let's see how Bob's getting on. Quarter of a second up on his time, so could be looking at 22.5. Could break into the top 5 here. Eke out a little bit more. Could find himself into around about 3rd position. So Benny coming into the pits now. His work today is done. Won't have time to get out again, so that will be his time on the board for everybody else. So Bob, how's he doing going into the last sector? Now I'm going to jump on with hammers a little bit further up, so he needs to find 4/10 hammers to get himself back into pole position. Bob coming across the line now. 22.372, so pops himself up in a 3rd place. So I think there's a purple sector run by hammers. He's invalidated, so that is it for hammers. He's thrown that away, just cut too much of that corner there. Okay, so who's going to be next? I think it's one of the Red Bulls. Are they getting out of the way? So Connor 23.2, currently in 11th place. Can he find himself? Well, he needs quite a chunk to move himself up, but more than capable. So Hummer finishing as well at 22.1, so we've got the top 2 there, their times are set. Let's see what Connor can do coming round the final corner now. Then we've got an influx of cars coming. Connor does improve up to 5th, and I think we've got Ralph is going to be next, then man like Donkey and the Ferrari. We're looking at the other brother Adam up in 122.191, jumping himself up there. MBB, he improved on his 22.5. Does not, sorry, it flashed to a 21.8 and I thought, crikey, that's a lap, but no, it was not quite sure what was happening there. Okay, Bob is, looks like he's been off track, so probably invalidated and has aborted the lap. Nope, Skipper has finished as well. I think that is the end of qualifying, so Benny Bonneau taking yet another pole position. So best place to win the championship today. So don't get any points for qualifying, but obviously putting yourself ahead of the pack is pretty much a huge bonus. Brother Adam taking 2nd in the Aston Martin with a 22.1, so a cracking lap by him. Hummer in 3rd in the AlphaTauri, 122.199, so 0.008 off of the front row of the grid. So pretty close at the front there. We've got Bob Spun in 4th, Hammers 5th, Havoc Connor 6th, MBB 7th, Rika 8th, Man Like Donkey 9th, and Ralph rounding out the top 10. So we just see as we got the confirmation of the results there. As we've gone down to number 10 with them, read 11, we've got Composite in 11th in the McLaren. Bog not doing a final run, happy to start in 12th. I think just let some of the chaos happen in front and see where he ends up from there. We've got Skipper in 13th, double 14th, and Pavlosidor bringing up the rear of the grid in 15th position. So as I say, Benny Bunot picking up yet another pole position. And I'm sure he'll be confident to go on and try and take the win in the race. And obviously Fastest Lap has done a few hat tricks this year already. I'm sure he would be more than happy to have another one. But as I say, Hammers will have something to say about that.
We're under the lights once again here in Qatar. Last year we took a year off due to a small footballing tournament that was being hosted, but it's all excitement on the track now. We're back here in Lusail for a track that's 3.34 miles long. There are 16 turns around its unique three-prong shape and just a single DRS zone out of turn 16. It's fast and it's flowing, and there's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS down the long straight and into turn 1.
Well, welcome back everybody. We're just waiting for the drivers to pick their strategies. Then we'll have a quick peek to see what tyres everybody's gone for. So 28-point gap in the championship, in the drivers' championship between Benny Bunot and Hammers. So Hammers does need to beat Benny by at least 2 points today to keep the championship alive going into the final round. Alfa Romeo, as we said, are about 52 points off top of my head ahead. So if they pretty much outscore or keep the damage to Alpine down, then they can run away with the Constructors' Championship today. But we'll see. Right, let's have a look at tyres. Okay, pretty much medium hards. Hummer going for an aggressive strategy, so obviously we will look for him to make up those positions early on. Hammers going for the alternate strategy onto the hards with Benny on the medium, so we'll see how that plays out the further we go into the race. But yeah, a mixture mainly of medium hards. Pretty much a 50-50 I'd say, but Hummer just deciding to be a bit aggressive to start with, the extra grip, see if he can get his way past. Might be able to stretch it out, as I say, to that medium, to the soft mediums. It just depends how he is on his tyres. Right, so Benny leading them round now towards the final turn, where they will take their grid positions for the 11th and penultimate time this season. We've had some real good racing this year. I mean, Benny has been a class apart, but behind him we've had some real cracking racing going on. Obviously with Hammer's brother Adam himself, we've had Kitchen up there, who is missing today, Pac-Man as well. Man like Donkey, Bogorovsky, Skipper picking up podiums. It's been a very interesting season, but as I say, Benny has been pretty much cut above the rest. We'll see if he can just draw a line under it now and claim what I think will be his second championship for DTR. So a few disqualifications there, nothing major, just means they'll start a little bit further back on the grid. I think about a metre back. So double is the last to take position. So right, let's see if we can get a decent shot, which we can't. So it's 5 red lights. Lights are out and away we go, and a bit of a jump start there by Composite, and does indeed pick up a drive-through penalty. That is not ideal for the start of the race. And we bit of contact a bit further back with the Aston Martin, then the Aston Martin there driving into the back of Hammer. Hammer is now up into 4th place, looking behind, keeping it fairly clean. There was a little bit of an incident I saw back with one of the Aston Martins off the start, but it could just have been lag. MVP and Bob Spun there. Brother Adam, the biggest loser here, down 6 positions already. Has he got damage? It's difficult to tell, but obviously losing 6 positions is not ideal. Does have left end plate damage, so a broken front wing. I believe it was on the back of Hummers going into turn 1. But so far, so clean. Right, let's back at the front. So Benny Bonneau doing what he has been very comfortable doing this year, which is just getting himself out in front and pick himself up a rhythm, and will look to stretch his legs. But we've got 3 different tyre compounds in the top 3. Obviously Benny on the medium, got Hummer on the fastest soft compound, and Hammers behind. Just take a couple of laps for those hards just to get themselves up into a decent temperature. Right, what do we have going on further back? So Brother Adam into the pits. Skipper in to serve his drive-through penalty. So just a shame, I just saw him twitch. He just went a little bit early. He did stop, but it was already too late. But here we are at front now. Hummer making the most of the tyre advantage. Done that wrong, sorry. That one gone. There we go. Right. MVP just losing it a little bit on the outside curb there, but managed to gather it back together again. So we've got a couple of groups forming, and a bit further back behind Ralph we've got a big gaggle with Connor, Bog, Composite, Havlosador and Double all lining up. So back at the front there. So Hummer now taking the lead up into turn number 1. So ERS enabled, so we will see obviously along the start finish line the only place DRS enabled, the only place along the start finish line. So it is a prime overtaking opportunity. Benny will look at just holding on as best that he can until those softs start to die off. Keep an eye on some battles here. MBB very, very close to the back of Bob Spun, and Bob Spun straight on the back of Hammers as well. Connor looking at making a move on Ralph. He's getting closer and closer and closer, but we're back towards the start finish line now. I don't think Benny's going to be able to use anything to his advantage there. Bob closing, but I don't think he's going to get close enough to make that move on Hammers, and the same with MBB held up behind. we do have a move. Connor on the outside of Ralph. Inside for Ralph becomes the outside, but he manages to keep the position there. So good try by Havoc, but not making that one stick, unfortunately. MBB is all over the back of Bob's Spun, itching to get his way past. Benny at the front, hanging on to Hummers, so Hummers not being able to break away with those soft tyres. It's so important here if you can get yourself out of that one. Oh, Hammers picking up a 3-second time penalty already. It's only lap number 4. So easy to pick up penalties here, just running wide or just cutting the corner ever so slightly. But yeah, as I was saying, if Hummer could break that 1 second, he would then pull himself away because the DRS is just so strong. Benny picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. Right, so where's this battle going to come from? Who is going to make the next overtake? It's probably going to be Bob on Hammers, which it is. Going down into turn number 1. Enrica also making up a position on Man Like Donkey just behind. So good straight that was for the Red Bulls. And BB picking up a 3-second time penalty. So the front guys just picking up those penalties. I think they're just pushing too hard and just going just a little bit wide. Very unforgiving, this circuit. Hammers back past Bob Spun. I almost think that Bob Spun missed a gear there the way Hammers got back through, or it could just have been a great overtake by Hammers. But by the by, he is back up into 3rd place. Havoc the latest one, and Composite now picking up penalties. So the pennies are coming flooding in. And Benny Binot now back past Hummer up the front. And Bob Spun back past Hammers, so we're getting quite a few overtakes here. As I say, obviously DRS enabled going along the start-finish line. Bog up into 8th place, and they get a couple of places there, getting also past Havoc and past Ralph as well. So Bog up into 8th place, 6.2 seconds behind Man Like Donkey. We'll see what damage he can do into that. These two would be wise not to fight too much and use each other just to draw along, certainly along the DRS, if they can stay within decent range with MBB just behind. But Benny seems to be comfortable out front. Obviously on those mediums, so not going to be as durable and go as far as the hards. But it only takes one safety car and everything can change, as we've seen before. So Hammers now all over the back of Bob Spun, running a bit wide there. Would have probably picked up a warning, but needs to make this overtake and make it stick because he's got MBB right up his backside now. And there we do go, and it's going to be a 3 wide. MBB, I think, making just a slight bit of contact with Bob Spun there, but Bog pumping in the laps now, 4.5 behind, so he's close up nearly 2 seconds on Man Like Donkey there. So it does look like Bogorowski is the man on a charge at the moment. And Hammers will now look at trying to, he just needs to break the back of Bob Spun, just get himself away. He can just pull without, or get himself out of that 1 second. It's going to be so hard. MBB losing a place to Rika, so we've now got the Red Bulls in 4th and 5th. All of a sudden we've got a few gaps that have opened up. Oh, Hammer's picking up another time penalty, so he is trying as hard as he possibly can. MBB's out. What's happened to MBB? We have a safety car. MBB is there, so must have spun it. Oh, he must have caught the inside. So safety car. Oh. Now, Benny going to come into the pits. Yes, he's going to get rid of those mediums and put a set of hards on. Hammer, good timing. Hammer's as well coming in. I would assume he will now go for a set of mediums. 22 laps is a long time though, so he'll be hopeful that there's another safety car later on. Who else is coming in? Everybody. Ralph staying out on his hard, so he's quite comfortable that he can take those for the moment. We'll take the lead provisionally. I think everybody else is coming in. We've got a couple that have stayed out. Right, so Rika staying out on his medium tyres. Let's have a look again just to see what everybody is now on. So yeah, he's quite comfortable on his 7-lap-old mediums, the same as Man Like Donkey in his Ferrari in second place at the moment. Then we've got obviously the hard tyres of Ralph, Connor and Pavlosador deciding not to stop and change for fresh tyres. Hummer and Hammers on fresh medium, so they are going to be probably a bit quicker than Benny, just ahead of them. Benny on those now going on to the hards. We'll look at taking those to the end. Obviously if there's another safety car, he will probably come in and slap either another set of mediums or a set of softs on. So the current running order, lap number 8 behind the safety car, we've got Rika leading in the Red Bull, not stopping yet. Man Like Donkey in second, again not stopping, neither has Ralph, Havoc Connor or Pavlosador in third, fourth and fifth. Then de facto race leader Benny Bonneau in sixth position, coming in and swapping those medium tyres for a set of hards, looking at taking those to the end. And we've got Hummer, who was on softs, probably came at just about the right time for him to ditch those and put himself a set of mediums on. Hammer's also getting rid of his hards and putting mediums on. Bob's Fun going the opposite way, mediums to hards. And then we have Bog in 10th on 1-lap-old mediums, composite on old tyres, and everybody else on new. So just waiting for the field to gather up. So we've got the last two runners, Brother Adam. It's not been a great race for Brother Adam, starting up in second position, losing some positions early on. I think losing front left end plate, and I think, to be honest, being fully bullied out of position on the track. It's then quite easy to lose quite a lot of paces at the beginning. But we'll now have a chance to at least join the back of the field on the same tyres and can see what it can do. But yeah, it certainly had not a great season by his standard, Brother Adam. I think he's been very, very unlucky. I think pretty much most races he's had an incident, and I think would have just been happy for one where he wasn't involved in something. But unfortunately at the back of the grid with it all to do again. Certainly will improve your racecraft though, that's what I'm thinking from the back. So okay, so Rika will be leading the restart. We're just waiting for the safety car to come in. I haven't seen any notification yet, and we are into sector 3. There we go, safety car is coming in this lap, so they will now back up the field. It's quite a late call for the safety car to come in, to be honest with you, considering the pit entry lane is there. So when is Rika going to go? And is he going to catch anybody off guard? I think he had, I don't know, it looked like he went there. I think he accelerated and not sure. We've got some collisions happening further back where the right to the line, and we are go. But I think, yeah, unfortunately there was a couple of smaller collisions back where I think it looked like the field was going to go, and then it's perhaps just bunched itself back up again. So Hammer's looking up the inside of Hummer, not making that position there, but Benny already up into 5th place. Not if Connor can have anything to do with it. Connor is not giving up that position lightly. Keeps himself on the inside, nice and clean racing. Pavlosidor up into 6th place. Obviously courtesy of not stopping, but it's good to see him up there. He's doing a good job for his teammate there, holding up Hummer and Hammer behind, but unfortunately that was enough. Just pushed himself a little bit wide now and lost a couple of positions. Right, let's jump back towards the front. And Connor's out. What has happened to Connor? Oh, Connor. We have another safety car. Hummer 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he will jump in and will probably try and put on a set off. Oh, has he got damage, Hummer? Yeah. Oh, not quite sure what happened there, but Connor, yeah, he doesn't have the best of luck around Qatar. Raced in Div 2 last night. I don't think it went too well for him. And today getting to lap number 11. So Connor, sorry to see you out. Not sure what happened there. Do wonder if it may have had some involvement with Hummer, considering he's come in and put a new front nose cone on. So safety car number 2. I think we were live for about a lap there. Let's have a look at some of these penalties. Benny with 3 seconds, Hammers now with those 6 seconds. We've got Pav with 3, Composite 8 seconds. I think they say one of those was the collision under the safety car. Skipper with 3 seconds and Hummer with 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. So down to 13 runners. Composite, where's Composite? Composite might have had a moment under the safety car there. Seems to have gathered himself back together. In fact, comes into pits. We've got a few coming into the pits now. Ralph and Man Like Donkey as well. Like Donkey going out on look like fresh hards, so he'll look at taking those to the end. Ralph has gone for a set of mediums, and Composite going hards. So lap number 12, not even half away yet. So just a reminder, in the championship, if it does stay like this, Benny Bino will be Season 8 champion, Division 3. And so will be, I believe, his second championship. I certainly remember him winning one back in one of the early seasons. I was his teammate, the Williams team, and he had another solid season. Always seemed to make the right call with tyres in sort of weather and under the safety car, and took a deserved championship. So yep, looking to get his second. So just needs to really outscore Hammers or stay within a point or so of him, depending on fastest lap as well. Obviously 25 available for the win, an extra point for the safety car, for the fastest lap. Safety car is coming in this lap, so we will get back under racing. So we've just a short couple of laps there. Just waiting to go. So last time he went very late, so we keep an eye on everything behind, make sure everybody is behaving themselves. And we are go. And Hammer's looking at getting a jump on Benny there, getting a really good restart. Can he work his way around the outside, obviously on the better gripping tyres at this stage of the race? Oh, Hammer's going a little bit wide there. Where's Benny? Where's Benny? What happened to Benny? I missed Benny. Oh, completely missed that while I was coughing. I do apologise, but it looks like Benny might have had an incident perhaps in the battle with Hammers and has found himself currently down in 12th position. So, championship back on as we stand at the moment. Still an awful long way to go, man, like Donkey. Getting caught out a bit by the city braking in front. What is going on there? So Hummer looked like he's having a bit of a mare since the restart back into the pits. So I wonder if he's got some more damage. So yep, tumbling down the order there. So Benny back with it all to do, up into 9th place. Where's Hammers? Hammers? Did Hammers have damage? Oh, for Christ's sake, I've missed it all, haven't I? But it does seem to be that the two title protagonists might have had a little bit of a coming together and have picked up damage. Hey, we'll wait and see what is said about that a bit later on. But I saw the two of them having a bit of a fight. And looks like it might have caught one or more of them out. But the winners out of this are the Red Bulls, leading the way. Linus Stern, 2 seconds clear of Bog. Doing a good job there up into 3rd place, with nearly a 3.5 second gap on Skipper behind him. Benny will want to find his way past as quick as he possibly can. DRS now enabled. So he will If you leave the DRS, he'd be using his ERS to make his way past there. But Double not giving up the position. Where are they? Oh, they're there. Sorry, I went too far. I went the opposite way. Right, okay. So Benny back up into 6th position. So I still won't put it past him winning this race. Hammers and Hammers back into the pits again after damage. Oh, I could go so bloody wrong. Right. Bog now closing right in on the front two. He was a couple of seconds back. My God, he's found some pace. But this is the closest we've got now is for the lead. The top 3, the rest of them seem to have spread themselves out pretty much. Bog with that ERS open, he's not used much of his ERS. Rika in front, also not used a huge amount, and Bob has got quite a lot available should it be needed. So lap number 16 of 29. Red Bull still leading the way, but Bog is all over the back of the second Red Bull of Rika now. Sure, he will look at trying to make the move down into the start-finish line, or along the start-finish line, should I say, under DRS. Rika, I am sure, will be using his ERS to defend. Oh, Bob picking up a 3-second time penalty. So the leader pushing just a little bit too much, going a little bit wide, picking up a 3rd warning, so 3-second penalty for him. Is the Bog close enough? DRS open. Let's get his front wing just inside there, but not enough. But Rika now is flashing away, so he's rinsed all of his ERS trying to defend there, which is going to make him very susceptible on the next straight unless he can get himself enough recharge back. Brother Adam into the pits again. Jump back to the front here. The Bog is the closest battle that we got on track at the moment. Just 1/4 of a second behind Rika. To end off the lap, and Rika has had enough and peels off into the pits to get rid of those tyres. So Bog up into 2nd place. I think he will still get the DRS, which he does indeed. So now 2.5 seconds behind Bob's Bum, but Bob's Bum with that 3-second time penalty. Okay, so further back, Hammers at the back of the grid now, not going well for him. Benny has made his way back up into 5th position. Does have that 3-second time penalty though, but now within a second of Ralph, so it's not going to be long before he works his way past him up into 4th position. Velocidor picking up a 3-second time penalty. It's sitting nicely in 8th so far. have a quick look at the tyres again, trying to remember what everybody is on. So Bob on the hards at the front can take those to the end of the race. They're going to be a bit sore at the end, but now possible. 21 laps in total. Bog, I think, is going to have to stop again, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go for a soft stint towards the end, which Aretha has already taken. Oh, it's going to be taking 11 laps. Good luck on that one. Okay, so Benny working his way back up into 4th place. The gap at the front coming down slightly. Oh, got it down to nearly, well, just over 2 seconds now, so he's closing half a second. Brother Adam picking up fastest lap, 24.962 there. Benny now closing in on Skipper as well, so looking to get his foot back on that podium. But as it stands with Hammers down in 12th position, not scoring, Benny will be the champion. And I do believe as well, there we go, Benny up into 3rd place. So he passed Skipper quite easily there, but now with a 7-second gap to Bog, who has reduced that gap down to 1.7 seconds, so he's taking chunks out of it now, but it's just whether those tyres are going to last him until the end of the race. So yeah, I believe as it stands, Benny Bonneau would be the drivers' champion, the champion today, and Bogarowski and Hammers would take home the Constructors' Championship for Alfa Romeo. So we would all be buttoned up before going into the final race at Abu Dhabi. So it would be a bit of a dead rubber, but still would be fun. Obviously sometimes with the pressure off. So Double starting to struggle a little bit on those 12 lap old mediums now. Skipper holding on to the back of Benny, also using the DRS to his advantage down here to close it up. And Benny has closed up a couple of tenths on Bog, but Bog himself is still closing up nicely on the back of Bobspun. Bobspun obviously with that 3-second penalty as well. Benny Bonneau behind Bogarowski with 3-second penalty. So really Benny needs to make up 10 seconds to get himself ahead of Bogarowski. Let's have a quick look at the penalties. Yeah, 3 seconds for Oregon Hammers now in 9 seconds, so it's the wheels really have fallen off a bit for him today, but he gave it his best and looked like it was going to be a bit wide there for Benny. He doesn't have another warning, so must be close to a 3-second penalty. Certainly doesn't want to do that. Bob can see Bob in front of him. That's all he needs to do is just keep it there. 1.8 seconds behind with that 3-second penalty would take the win. I'm just going to pop up the table again just to have a check. But yeah, 28 points clear Benny Bruno. So Benny will take the driver's title today. Hammer's not scoring in the points. So it would take him to an unassailable 53-point lead, I think it would be, with obviously only one race left to go. Check the constructors as well, because we've got a gap of 52 points. So yep, I think both championships are looking at being decided today. Bog looking to pick up his first win of the season. Gotta hope those tyres don't drop off. Still got 6 and a bit laps to go. Gap to Benny is down to 6 seconds. What's that Benny's got behind him? Oh man, like donkey. So it has. Oh my god, his hammer's been lapped. He has, yeah. Man like donkey picking up a time penalty there. Right, okay, so let's stick back towards the front here. Bog 2.5 seconds, so he's starting to lose some time now to Bob's bum. A bit further back, Ralph. Yeah, 2.5 seconds behind Skipper. Then we've got Rika, her picking up another penalty. Right, let's jump back towards the front. So Bog 2.1 seconds behind. Can he keep himself within that 3-second window of Bob? I'd say two completely different tyre compounds. We've got both on 16-lap-old tyres, but Bob with the longevity of the hards, whereas Bog must be really pretty much coming towards the end of the grip on those mediums. So we'll just be praying for an extra few laps just to keep him. But 1.7 seconds, so he's actually closing down. Around about the 2 seconds still. Benny is coming at a rate of knots though, gap down to 4.9 seconds. So he's reduced that down by just over a second. Only in a couple of laps, so half a second. I mean, he's still not out of this fight yet, but does have that 3-second time penalty. But at the front, Bob. I say both Red Bulls were doing really well at one point, running 1-2. Unfortunately, Rika dropping down the field a bit, but coming back into 6th place. Looks like Benny and Hammers might have had some kind of coming together as well in Sector 2. With Benny dropping down, then Hammers both having to come into the pits to pick up new front wings. So it might have been completely unrelated. But Hummer in 8th place again showed so much better for him, but an unfortunate incident getting caught up in dropping him down the field, but recovering so far into 8th position. Pretty spread out field now, other than Rika, who looks as if he's going to want to make a move on the junior team of AlphaTauri, so get his way up into 5th past Ralph. He is indeed. He has used all of his ERS, which means he is going to be susceptible to Ralph on the next tour of the start-finish line. So Bog now 2.3 seconds back. Camera angle, so it's jump on board with Bob, so just managing to eke that gap to 2.5. Benny 3.6 seconds behind, so he's closed that in another second. I think he's going to be pretty much with Bog at the end of the race, but as I say, he needs to get his way past. And then pull out, well, then get past Bob and pull out a 3-second gap on Bog. Bog 2.3 seconds, 2.4 seconds, so keeping that gap. It's dangling within about the half a second range, excuse me. Now 2.9, we're nearly out to that 3 seconds. I think Bog is starting to struggle now on those tyres. I think this could just be where Bob pulls out enough. Or was it that Bog was held up getting his way past the Ferrari there? It may well have been. So right, anyway. Bog 2.8 seconds behind. So he could do with giving himself a squirt of ERS just to get that gap down a little bit. So Hummer now past double and up into 7th position. I think that's pretty much going to be where his progress ends, other than if we have a yellow flag. Why have we got a yellow flag? Oh, Hammers. So yeah, not going quite. Oh, Bog 4.1 seconds behind now. I think his tyres have completely dropped off the cliff. Let's see, how many laps has he done? 20 laps on a set of mediums. Jesus, he's probably down to the canvas, to be honest with you, but it's a good effort, but looks like he's just falling outside of that 3-second time penalty at the moment. If he could just stay behind the Ferrari in front of him and then use the DRS. But he's now got Benny Beno behind him, lining it up, so it does. Fortunately for Bogorowski, looks like his tyres are just going to finish off a couple of laps too short. Losing a bit too much grip at the end, Bob, on the harder tyres. Right, so Rika now on the back of Skipper. Bog, I think, just about to lose the position to Benny, but I think he'll gladly just give that position up. Knowing that Benny has that 3-second time penalty. So Bob on to his final lap now. So he's pretty much controlled the second part of this race since the safety car period. Putting those hards on. He's pulled himself out a small gap in front. And has managed to defend that. Does now have Benny Bernot chasing after him, 2.7 seconds back, so he's closing in on him, but ultimately that 3-second penalty, so it negates Bog in third place, 1.7 seconds now behind Benny. You don't want to drop off too much, otherwise he will lose that. But here we go, Bob Spun crosses the line to take the win at Qatar. Benny Bernot comes home in second place and takes his second championship. Bog, is he struggling for fuel? Bog. Oh, gee, just about kept his podium there. Rika very nearly got him. I think Bog out of fuel. Unfortunate there after such a good race. Ralph bringing it home in 5th place. Skipper in 6th. Then Hummer will bring it home in 7th place. A good recovery considering where he ended up at one point. Double coming home in 8th position. 9th will be brother Adam. Pavlosador will come home in 10th. And Composite will be the last driver to come home in 11th position to cross the line any moment now. So congratulations to Bob Spun getting the win for Red Bull. Benny Bernot recovering from an incident back into 2nd place. And congratulations to him for taking his 2nd DTR Drivers World Championship. Still one race to go. Driver of the day there, Bogorovsky. I think so with his recovery. Was so unlucky not to get there the win at the end. I think the tyres just dropping off and then missing out on 2nd place by running out of fuel on the last lap, but managing to keep it just on the podium. So many congratulations to Bob, to Benny and Bog. We've got the 3 Bs on the podium today. Well deserved. Benny Bernot, congratulations on your 2nd Drivers' Championship. And I'll also say congratulations to the Alfa Romeo team of Hammers and Bogorovsky for taking the the Constructors' Championship this year. Uncatchable now going into the final round. So well done to them. Okay, so just to run through, Bob Spun taking the win in the Red Bull, then Benny Bernot in 2nd place, Bogorovsky in 3rd, then we have Rika in 4th, Ralph in 5th, 6th place for Skipper, 7th Hummer, 8th Double, 9th Brother Adam, 10th Pavlosador. Then outside of the points we had Composite in 11th, Man Like Donkey in 12th, Hammers unfortunate there finishing up in 13th place, and our non-finishers of Havoc Connor and MBB. Fastest lap of the race going to Man Like Donkey at 24.656. So that brings to a close round 11, and it actually brings an end to the championship with both titles now decided. So Benny Bernot Drivers Champion this year and Alfa Romeo the Constructors Championship. But we'll be back same time next week for the season finale in Abu Dhabi. See if we can get another new winner, but fingers crossed we'll get some decent racing anyway. So from myself, thanks ever so much for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you same time next week. Take care, everyone. Good night.